Now time for race 8 out of 12 today on Heats Day. It's race 2, Heat 2 for Junior Rotax. Let's take you through the starting grid. On pole position, it's going to be Thomas Verheyen, and alongside him on the front row will be Germany's Noah Janssen. Brian van der Weyken and Ryan Bourguignon will be on row 2. Lieke van Berkel and Alexander van Meeuwen on row 3, followed by Boris Maximov and Luca Sells, who complete the 4th row. Jim Back, due to start 9th, might leave an open gap there, and alongside him will be Cameron Nelson. Lars Lambers and Filip Wisniewski round out the top 12. Max Siderski also not having broken the timing beam just yet, but might also be starting from the dummy grid. He's due to start 13th. João Maria Pereira from Portugal in 14th, ahead of Jake Woods, Tom Herger, Isaac Barker, and Enzo Riccio from Finland. Once more, the sun has decided to grace us with its warmth and presence. So once more, it's going to be another 7-minute plus an additional lap race. So if Jim Back and Max Siderski have opted to start from the dummy grid, they will have to wait until the start gets going. And I've just noticed a significant amount of changes that will happen for the second heats of seniors that have just transpired. I count 30, possibly 12 front-fairing penalties in that race. But I'm not at all surprised with the amount of, the amount of retirements and also the massive change in weather. So again, the blue skies are starting to show up above, which I think a lot of people will be grateful of at this moment. But whether the weather may change again is anyone's guess. I'm sort of keeping my fingers crossed and, touch wood, that it is going to stay as it is right now. And for those people wondering, if you're mentioning about Jarno Opmeer, he does not run in this championship. So, Jochen DRS, I hope I've answered your question on that one. So the drivers now will make their way through towards the final corner. Red lights are on the starting gantry as we get set for the penultimate heat for the Junior Rotax division here at Genk. Into the tram lines, revs rise. Lights are on, lights are not out. We are under full start conditions. So the drivers will now make their way around for another formation lap. So if race director Martin Leiner is not happy with the starts, he will send them around for another time. If it's a second time that it doesn't happen, then it will be a red flag situation where we'll stop the drivers on the start-finish straight, and then the relevant discussions with the relevant parties will be had. No problem at all, Jochen DRS. So if you are watching and you want to ask a question about the series at any point, please feel free to do so. I am monitoring the YouTube chat as we speak. And keep your eyes peeled on once we get all the confirmed heat winners from today, and then also the confirmed ranking after heats, we will be posting on our Jochen DRS. Well, Jochen, if you're that close to the track, you can pop on in. You can come down and actually watch the racing here. Absolutely free. That's one of the beautiful things about karting. There is a grandstand that you can watch from. So, feel free to pop on down tomorrow if you want for finals day. We'd be more than happy to welcome you. So, once again, they get under starters' orders for the second time of asking. As now, out of the final corner. Revs rise, lights are on. This time, lights are out first time, we're underway. And into turns 1 and 2 they go. And, I've just seen 2 carts exit pit lane. So that was both Jim Back and Max Siderski. 1 cart going very, very wide out of turn number 3. Oh, I hope your son gets well, Jochen. So home office at the moment with his son, with my 3-year-old son. Well, hopefully he gets well soon. It was 6.5 minutes of this race still to go. The drivers still kicking off quite a bit of spray at the minute as they head through into turn 7. But at the moment, it is Noah Janssen that leads the way as they come out of turn number 11 for the first time. And then we come around the 12th and final corner of this 1.36 kilometre circuit. Janssen leads the way in the 2-3-1. Second, it's Verheyen. Third is Bourguignon. There's a little bit of a scrap just outside of the top 10 coming across the line. Lieke van Berkel, João Maria Pereira, Cameron Nelson and Lucas Sells up round out the top 8. Bran van der Weken has dropped all the way down to 9th and is being chased down by Jake Woods in the number 205, representing the United Kingdom. Noah Janssen goes wide through out of turn number 6. As, someone's done a bit of grass tracking. Oh, that's a real shame there for Jake Woods in the 205. He manages to get the cart back onto the tarmac. Might have lost a couple of positions and dropped himself outside of the top 10. Meantime, Bourguignon has an opportunity to get through on Thomas Verheyen. And out of the drivers that we've got here, I would say that you're looking at the likes of Janssen, Bourguignon, also Cameron Nelson, probably the most experienced. There's mistake there through out of turn 11. And Thomas Verheyen darts up the inside of Noah Janssen. Janssen scrabbling for traction. Verheyen gets through. Bourguignon gets through. Now Janssen, is he going to get the pair of them coming out of the final corner? He switched to the inside. He got through on the French driver, but not through on the Belgian. And you can see just by these wet weather conditions, when the drivers are trying to turn the carts in and rotate them, there is a lot of significant understeer. But Boris Maximov has managed to keep himself trying to close on in on the 3 in front as the race leader Verheyen goes off the track. Oh, dearie me. Verheyen, I don't know how he kept onto the race lead there, but he managed just to keep the foot planted to the floor. And in the meantime, down the Europlan through at turn 7, there goes Boris Maximov on Ryan Bourguignon. So Verheyen came out of turn 5. The back end stepped out. He went onto the grass with 2 wheels, kept the foot planted to the floor and still managed to stay ahead. Noah Janssen was trying to get through, so was Ryan Bourguignon. So it just goes to show that sometimes it's about luck and skill. As now there's going to be a change for third again. As Janssen trying to close on in once more on Thomas Verheyen for that race lead. And the Belgian putting an absolute sterling defence on at the moment. Verheyen still leads. Janssen second. Third it's Maximov. Fourth it's Bourguignon. Top 4 covered by 8/10 as Thomas Verheyen just managed to stay ahead and Boris Maximov got through on Noah Janssen. That is just the way that Thomas Verheyen just went very, very deep into turn 2, turned the cart right, pointed the cart in the direction he wanted to go, hit the throttle, and was very, very close to nearly being T-boned by Maximov and also Janssen at the same time out of turn number 2. That would have been very, very close and a bit too dicey. You've got to be very, very careful, but you've got to have full commitment in yourself to do something like that. And it looked like Thomas Verheyen did have that in spades, and now he's trying to build a little bit of a lead. Meantime, Ryan Bourguignon trying to get through on Noah Janssen for P3, closing in on them. It's going to be João Maria Pereira from Portugal. And he was also in the Minimax class last year, so quite a few drivers moving up from Minimax to juniors. Boris Maximov made the transition last year up to this class. A little bit of squabbling a little bit further back. Probably where you got Max Sidursky, so it's probably around about 11th to 13th place. Actually make that for the top 10. So there's Lucas Sells, there's Max Sidursky. Just behind them is the 242 of Lars Lambers. Jake Woods, in the meantime, has got himself back up into what is 8th position. There's Alexander Van Meeuwen in the 227. As, oh, dearie me, Lucas Sells off the track now. Same place as what we saw with Thomas Verheyen. And that is bringing all kinds of muck onto the circuit. So as soon as they do that, and they hook the wheels onto the outside part of that particular location on the circuit, heading into turn 6, there's a little bit of a curbing before you actually go into the right-hand hairpin. And what can happen is that the wheels the inner side wheel will hook, And then the grip on the tyres, of course, using the wet weather tyres, that will churn up the grass and the mud underneath. But it is Thomas Verheyen who is leading the way, but how close is Boris Maximov? Well, Maximov has got company again. So it is going to be Noah Janssen and Ryan Bourguignon between second, third and fourth, give or take, as Maximov is off the circuit big time. Oh, dearie me, he went straight off at turn 2, and look at the state of that kart. I can guarantee you this much, his mechanic will not be jet washing that down in between the sessions. It's gone from white and green to brown and muddy, that Tony Kart chassis. No, just been going a little bit too fast in terms of momentum through into turns 1 and 2, and it just went straight on, and that was all she wrote. And thereby, Noah Janssen regains second place. Ryan Bourguignon up to P3. So that means that João Maria Pereira will be fourth. Bran van der Weyken, I think, is in 5th place. Jake Woods might actually be making some headway as well. He did a really good effort in the first heat. As the timer has expired, we've got one more lap to go after this one. So Thomas Verheyen leads the way. Janssen, second. Bourguignon, third. Pereira from Portugal in 4th. So who's 5th? It's Bran van der Weyken. 6th, it's Jake Woods. 7th is Max Sidursky. Cameron Nelson, who won the opening heat, is still in 8th. Maximov managed to rejoin, and in 9th place, in a very muddy Tony kart, Lars Lambers in the number 242 rounds out the top 10, as the final lap is pretty much 50% completed. So after this, we'll have our final set of heats. So 4 more races to go before we call time on today's action, and then the racing will resume tomorrow with the super heats and then the finals. But I think there might have been a little bit of a skirmish just a few seconds ago, I think heading into turn 8. But there is Thomas Verheyen in the 282. Noah Janssen close, but not enough so far this weekend for a race win. But Verheyen started from pole, and he's going to lead the field across the start-finish line. Thomas Verheyen, the 282 from Belgium, will become the second different winner in Junior Rotax. Cameron Nelson, Heat 1. Thomas Verheyen, Proficiat, Heat 2 winner. Noah Janssen takes second, 9/10 behind the 282 from Belgium. Ryan Bourguignon in third, and parabéns, João Maria Pereira started down in 14th and finishes 4th. Max Sidursky up 8 positions from 13th on the grid to finish 5th. Bran van der Weyken 6th. Jake Woods 7th. Cameron Nelson 8th. Maximov was possibly on course for a top 3 finish, but with a couple of laps to go, went off the circuit, into the mud, off of turn 2, and he ends up 9th. Lars Lambers, Alexander Van Meeuwen, Lieke van Berkel, Tom Reger, Lucas Hals, Enzo Riccio, Isaac Barker, Jim Back, and Philip Wisniewski round out the finishing order. So 2 different winners. First up, Nelson, now Verheyen. Who could be the winner in Heat 3 later on today?